Hello, this is Ryan from Amnesty, and I'm going to show you Hiawatha, or the Iroquois. I'll show you what I would recommend is in terms of victory conditions, their social policies, and also their two special units, although they have a special building instead of two special units. At any rate, the Great Warpath is his personality trait, and it has units move through forest and jungle and friendly territory as if it is road. These tiles can be used to establish trade routes upon researching the wheel, which obviously you research the wheel very early on in the game. So essentially what this means is that you do want to sprawl out, you want to build lots of cities, is kind of what it's saying. The trade routes will be just about free, so as long as you have all your cities connected through forest tiles. Now usually their start bias is going to be in a lot of forested areas, which is a very good thing for you, because you are going to want to put a lot of cities around there, because again, you will save money, you will save time, you will not need to build the roads, there will already be a trade route right there, and again, your units will be able to move through them as if they were a road, just about. I mean, not quite, but again, just about to the extent of a road at any rate. You'll also get the Longhouse special building, which will help production, so you'll be able to build a lot. Usually you get a lot of production out of the cities that you're going to build. And as in terms of victory conditions, I would definitely recommend science as being number one. Now science and domination kind of are almost a tie, but I would say science over domination only because you get one special unit, which is the Mohawk warrior, which is a fantastic unit and everything, but it's only for that certain time, and that's really when you dominate. So scientific because you can sprawl out, you can branch out, you can make tons of cities without much of a penalty. Again, there's always the happiness and money aspects that you're gonna have to watch out for, but you'll save money because your cities, so as long as you're connected through forests, you won't need to build the roads. And then also with science, again, you'll have a lot of cities. When you have lots of cities, you have lots of science, so it kind of goes hand in hand. And then with domination, I would recommend it because again, you have the Mohawk warrior, which is an extremely strong unit. They will move through the forest like no others. When I've played Hiawatha and he's attacked me, normally he's peaceful, he has absolutely wrecked me because of that. He just runs around like a ninja with those stupid Mohawk warriors. They can be killer, and if you play as Hiawatha, you can use them to your advantage. It's very, very good. Then diplomatic, you can win a diplomatic victory, but I would say it's more or less challenging because again, you're going to be a sprawling empire. But generally, that's what you're going to do. And sprawling empires are not really liked by AI too much, considering you're taking land that they want, or land that they covet, as they normally have it. So it'll be a little bit of a challenge in terms of that. It's definitely possible, but again, I would really only recommend a diplomatic or a cultural victory if you have not many forest tiles. Because if you don't have many forest tiles, you don't really want to expand too quickly, because there's not much of a benefit anymore. And that also goes with saying, culturally, I would say is the worst. Unfortunately, the Iroquois as a people are very cultured, as I would think. Granted, they're not technically a peoples anymore, but they are to an extent. At any rate, culture, there's really little things that give you it. There's not much reason to go for it, and the only reason I would recommend cultural victory would be if you really have like no forests whatsoever and you want to kind of stay small, and then I would say sure, but even then it's a fine line. I wouldn't recommend it. Anyway, so now I'll show you the Mohawk warrior and the Longhouse. As far as the Mohawk warrior goes, he'll cost 75 production or 150 faith. He is a melee unit. He'll have a combat bonus of 14 and a movement of 2. He'll have a combat bonus in forest and jungles by 33%. That is huge. This is such an annoying unit if you are playing against Hiawatha and he is fighting you. These things will cut you down like no other, and it will piss you off because it's happened to me too many times to count. And again, if you play as Hiawatha, use these guys to piss everybody off because they are very good. Now they will require ironworking, so that's one thing to mention as well. Now I'll show you the longhouse, which is pretty good. Costs 100 production, and it'll have 2 maintenance for it, plus 2 production, and then plus 1 production from each worked forest tile. That is the biggest thing as far as this thing goes, because again, you'll want to keep all your forests. You don't want to chop down the forests unless you absolutely for some reason need to. So the extra production out of this will make your cities produce lots and lots of things. It's very nice. Helps out quite a bit. And with that being said, now I will show you the social policy I'd recommend if you were to play the Iroquois. So before I show you the social policies I'd recommend, I'll tell you about Hiawatha's start bias. As always, you will be near forested tiles such as the shown right here. Now, if I were to continue playing this game, I would probably put a city near this lake, because again, all these forest tiles that are connected up will become a trade route, which is very, very good, and you will want to continue to build cities so as long as they're connected by these forest tiles. Kind of follow the dots with the forest tiles. And as always, you'll be near plains generally. Sometimes you'll be near tundra. Unfortunately, I'm near desert as well, as odd as that may be. But anyway, now I will show you the social policy I'd recommend if you were to play Hiawatha. And as always, it is liberty, considering he is an empire that I would recommend to expand rapidly. Liberty will do just that. It will give you +1 culture in every city, which is very helpful. It will give you a settler, it will give you a worker. It will also make both of them, make the settler produce quicker, and it will make the worker work harder. Pair that up with the pyramids, and you got a workforce that's to be reckoned with. But if you really, I really wouldn't recommend much of anything else, just because maybe tradition if you're going to play culturally, which I really wouldn't recommend. Again, I mean, if, let's say for instance, the right hand side here, there was no forest where these dyes are and these elephants are. There's nothing but just plains or whichever, and there's really no more forested areas or jungle areas for that matter. I would play culturally. Why is that? Because I don't get that free trade route. I have to build those roads, and it can be a pain, and it will cost you money. So in a situation like that, then yes, I would recommend tradition. But in situations where you do have these forested tiles, I say no. Go with liberty. It's the best way you can go. With that said, hope you guys liked the video. Please rate, subscribe, and comment, and watch some of my other videos.